So may I invite Dr. Sagar without wasting much time?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sagar.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Sagar, you are welcome. So he is currently working as assistant professor at the Center for Management Education, VAMNICON Pune, and since July 18. Before this, he worked at Tata Institute of Social Sciences. So and then he's in the several committees, and he graduated in agriculture from Dr. P.D.K.V. Akola University, post graduation in agriculture extension and communication from G.B. University of Agriculture and Technology, Pannagar. By the way, both we are the alumni of the same department. Nice to
Yes, sir.
meet Dr. Sagar. So then ultimately he's doing this social capital formation, livelihood analysis, social enterprise management, ICT for development, monitoring and evaluation. He's engaged in all these areas where these are very new emerging concept and areas, and he is working on these. I welcome Sagar Kisan Wadkar to make his presentation. So welcome, Dr. Sagar.
So thank you very much. At the outset, I would like to thank Manage Dr. Sarvanaraj sir for giving me this opportunity, and then respected chair Chandra sir, and then dear participant. I welcome you all in my this paper presentation on battling the COVID-19 agriculture crisis through collective action and then social entrepreneurship implications for extension system. So broadly, agriculture and allied sector, the overall scenario, all of us we are aware about it. But in a nutshell, if I could talk about agriculture is now, moving from typically agri science or production per se towards now business, where basically now we are trying to connect two dots at the front end and the back end, and that's how basically Chandra sir in his talk basically he mentioned all those aspects. So I'll not give much focus on that. But yes, the lot of the challenges are also we are facing, whether it is climate change, whether it is of the climate, and so on. And then last year we faced this COVID-19 pandemic-like situation, because of which basically entire our supply and value chain got disrupted. So it is unorganized but centralized around APMC market, which miserably failed. And then within that context, basically a lot of social enterprises, nothing but FPOs, whether it is cooperative and then farmers producer companies. So they played a very much important role as far as extending the the supply services to consumers. So in that context, basically we try to assess the role of FPC, role in the sense particularly the business activity or what kind of a supply chain was there before and after the COVID outbreak. And then certainly to assess the ascertain the challenges and then post-COVID training and capacity building requirement for the FPC, because this COVID-19 has changed the entire paradigm as far as the agriculture marketing is concerned. So in that case, basically we wanted to understand the post-COVID-19 training and capacity building requirements, and in the process, then we'll also discuss about some of the implications for our agriculture system. So yeah, we followed exploratory research design, and then we selected 16 districts from the 4 regions of Maharashtra state. Maharashtra state because it's a lot of COVID menace happen in this state, and then most of the FPCs are there in this state. And out of total 5 region, we accept the Konkan region because network issue and then minimal presence of FPC. We selected 16 districts from the 4 region, and then from those selected districts, basically we tried to contact the minimum 5 FPCs, and then as per the availability, network connectivity, completion of the discussion over telephonic conversation during that initial period of the lockdown. Finally, we selected 32 FPCs for the further data analysis, which we did through descriptive analysis and then Garrett ranking method. So this is the broader overview of the selected district and then the number of FPCs. So now quickly I'll come to directly to the result and discussion. So as far as the business activity is concerned before COVID, so we can see the almost all FPCs are involved in aggregation of the produce or the collecting the agro produce from their member farmers, and then plus they are also into a primary processing. So primary processing meaning thereby some kind of a grading, standardization, packaging, labeling, and then some of they are also doing branding, not branding per se, but yes, on the name of their farmers producer company they are doing it. And then some of the FPCs, 50% of FPCs, they're also doing input activity, input business, which is a kind of very suggestive business activity for all the FPCs, because all the member FPCs, they require some or other kind of inputs. So we can see that. And as far as supply chain is concerned, that is from farm FPCs to the consumer. So most of the FPCs were into the direct marketing, and some of the FPCs, they are also into B2G as far as the government procurement is concerned. So in Maharashtra, we know there is a state level producer company, Maha FPC. So with them, around 43% of the FPCs are doing procurement on behalf of NOFED. And most importantly, during COVID-19 and then resultant lockdown, the activities which they have undertaken. So aggregation of produce and then direct marketing is there, but more upon that, they also did some kind of awareness creation, which was needed basically, particularly in the rural areas, because the health literacy is very, very minimal in the case of the Maharashtra and in most of the parts of the country. So they did very good role in terms of creation of the awareness. And then plus, more importantly, because during that period of time, a lot of migration, reverse migration trend we have observed. And then most of the people got stuck in the borders, district borders, basically. So, so in that case, basically, these FPCs played very kind of, a role in terms of giving, at free cost, giving fruits and veggies to those marginalized and poor sections of the society. As far as the agency, our public extension system played very much important role as far as connecting these FPCs with the consumers, particularly the urban consumer cooperative societies, particularly. So in that, ATMA, MSMB, agriculture officer, they played very much important role. Besides this, the promoting institution, those who have promoted these different pharmaceutical companies, so they also played very much important role as far as giving information about how basically they can provide all those different fruits and vegetable and then other agro stuff to consumers. Working pattern, almost 50% of them work daily. They daily used to aggregate the agro produce and then they used to give it to the. So the supply chain, though earlier also before COVID, they used to do a direct marketing, but a lot of challenges were still it is there, and during COVID and then before that as well. So 34% of the farmers producer company, they were involved in the direct marketing, and within which basically most of them they have transferred that grocery and agro stuff to consumer cooperative societies in Pune and then their respective district market. As far as licensing is concerned, though in Maharashtra, in 2016 onwards, the fruits and vegetables came out of the purview of APMC mandis, but still during this lockdown, they also it was required that they should take some kind of a license from some agencies, whether it is a district agriculture officer, MSME, marketing board. So they took a license from them, and then basically, as far as transportation is concerned, for that also, the passes and then all those things were there as far as the protocol was concerned. So they did issued license from the respective agencies. But despite that, also basically, a lot of problems they face. Despite having license for direct marketing and then for transportation, but so many times, basically, their vehicles stop at multiple checkpoints because of COVID protocol and so on. But I see, as far as the challenge is concerned, we don't have that kind of integrated system where basically now we are talking about how basically we can rope in technology in all parts of the country, whether it, in all parts of our operations. And then particularly in that context, when we talked about government services, a lot of efforts are being now put on the e-governance part as well. So in that context, that kind of thing would help in future, but they face a lot of problems. And then plus the very important problem, because when the lockdown and all those started during that period of time, harvesting season of Rabi on boom, and then because of the reverse migration, availability of labor, and then harvesting time, all those things create a lot of problem as far as the farmers overall economy is concerned, and then because of which wastage of agro produce due to lack of demand and labor also happen in many cases. Then we also, looked into the overall the functional challenges which FPCs they are facing, because this is new, model, though it is a advanced version of cooperative model only, which stands on the philosophy and principle of cooperative, but still basically they are facing a lot of problems as far as getting bank credit is concerned, and then slowly, because FPC is a business entity. So slowly, farmers and then representatives of those FPC, they are now realizing that this is the, something different. This is a business entity. So the financial management, record keeping on that area, because these farmers are lacking, and then they are heavily dependent on the company auditor, company secretary, but it is their business actually. So now they are realizing that they should have the full command over their own business itself, how basically they can manage the cash, how basically they can document all their transactions. So like this challenge they are facing. Plus, it's not only about now production. As we know, we are now self-sufficient. So in that case, now, what they can do with whatever the extra marketable surplus which they are having. So the challenge which they are facing now, how they can create the farm gate infrastructure at the FPC level itself. And I think now in the wake of the COVID-19, whatever the Atmanirbhar Bharat schemes which our Honorable Prime Minister has announced. So in that context, I think it would help further to create that kind of a farm gate market infrastructure. Besides this, they also shared the challenge in terms of doing online tasks, because COVID-19 has changed everything, and that's how basically we are also now having this online workshop, online conference. So as far as marketing is concerned, they are now facing a lot of problems in terms of doing all the transaction online, and then subsequently the other challenges as far as their functioning is concerned, that is the member ka loyalty in terms of members ka participation in all the business activities, and then increasing membership base by which they can increase the equity shares and all those things. Then when we discuss about the what kind of training they have undergone through before COVID-19, and what kind of training they require post COVID. So very prominently they have undergone through training on the FPC organization management, means the how basically FPC as an institution they can effectively run, but still they are 28% of the FPCs, they are still feeling that they need more training on to understand this company model, basically how this new model, how its governance, how its management, and these are the, after all, they are the farmer basically. So to change farmer from agripreneur, from farmer to agripreneur, then entrepreneur, and then executive of that company, that itself will take time basically. So they need a lot of capacity building and hand holding support on this aspect. Besides this, they also shared that they need more training on advertising, digital marketing, because it's all about now digital marketing. So how they can do that? So it's that, and then further they also shared that the online training, online trading. So a lot of now ENAM and then a lot of e-commerce websites are now there. So how basically as an FPC member they can transact with all those online trading. Besides this, some of the FPCs, they have also shared that as far as the price discovery and risk minimization is concerned, the NCDX platform is also now coming up in a big way. So farmers are also now asking for how basically we can transact on NCDX platform. So if you look at in that sense, then broadly, the two aspects are coming out in very well, that the digital marketing, and which includes the online trading as well, plus the value addition part, that is the post-harvest management and then processing, export, import. So I think more efforts now we need to put on as far as our extension system is concerned on value addition and then digital marketing, which first our extension professionals should get worse on that, and then subsequently we can then orient our farmers producer company as well. So as far as implications are concerned, before that, actually, I just would like to talk about these are the different social enterprises we are having, nothing but broadly a civil society organization we are having. So century-old model we have cooperative, but over the period of time that cooperative leadership became politicized, and it got trapped between the nexus of the bureaucracy and then political party. That's fine, but over the period of time, the SHG, as far as the woman empowerment is concerned, that model came, and through which also we are promoting many women FPCs as well. And then the advanced version of this cooperative, nothing but the farmers producer company, that model came in 2002 onward. So conceptually, these all are the FPOs. These three different forms of collectives are nothing but FPO. And then several research studies have also demonstrated that through these models, basically, one can achieve streamline the both end, forward and then back end. But still, a lot of efforts and then needs to create that kind of a platform where basically we can have convergence among and between these different forms of social enterprises, and within these basically, startup ecosystem, particularly agri-tech and fintech, which are basically now, that kind of an ecosystem which government of India, they are promoting. So 2010 onwards, effectively, many startups are coming up in a big way, and they are also now struggling basically, as far as the connecting with the appropriate, a target clientele group. So in that context, basically, we are advocating that there is a high time where basically we need to create that kind of a platform where basically we can, create that kind of a convergence between and among these social enterprises, as well as with the agri-tech and fintech startup, so that effectively we can improve the efficiency of entire agriculture operations across value chain. And in that context, we feel that there is a need to create that kind of a win-win situation for all the stakeholders, because it's all about now reciprocal relationship, right? It's all about now how we can create that kind of a win-win situation as per the competency area of all those different public, private, and NGOs, and then civil society organizations, so that basically we can address the secondary needs of the farmers, which basically they are asking that how I can go for organic farming, how can I can go for value addition and processing, so all that stuff. And plus, in view of this COVID-19, we know that the actual liberalization of the agriculture marketing system happened because of that 3 Act which government of India they have passed. Though Indian economy got liberalized in 1991, but the 2020, and thanks to COVID basically, because of which basically we have undertaken that those long pending reform as far as liberalization of agriculture marketing system is concerned. And within that context now, a lot of effort needs to be put on to reap the benefits of that liberalized market. And in that context, basically, we feel that yes, public and private both basically they are empaneling NGOs as far as promoting these CSOs, nothing but the cooperative and FPCs are concerned. So they are good at mobilization, institution building, capacity building, but at some point of time down the line, maybe after 5 or 6 years, these CSOs basically they are facing problem in terms of connecting with the market value addition, where basically NGOs are not competent enough to extend all those services, where basically we feel that the public and private extension system, if they extend all those access to technology, institution, knowledge, finance, logistic, and then skilled human resource, then I think we can bring some kind of a change, and then we can make these CSOs smart, competitive, and down the line sustainable. So with this, I feel once again, thanks to COVID, because of which the kind of mindset changed, on the farmers' part, because they realized that yes, marketing also we need to do, because what has happened, because of to achieve food security, we oriented our farmers towards production per se, and then 91 onwards, basically the actual market and then consumer is the kingpin of entire this system, and then it became a globalized market. So within that context, then because of COVID, the farmers venture into the marketing, and then they realize basically yes, if we do marketing, then only we are getting a lot of profit. Where basically in earlier case we were feeling that yes, marketing is not my job, marketing is the state government, it's APMC job. But that's not the case, which changed because of this COVID. And in that case, basically the social capital blended with these appropriate and innovative technology can solve the problem, not only production harvesting, but yes, the procurement, processing, distribution to ultimate consumers. Though they face a lot of problems, but still the public extension system, they played a very much important role as far as the connecting these FPCs to consumers. And then as far as the training and capacity building is concerned, a lot of effort needs to be put on the governance, financial management, digital marketing. And in that case, basically, as I told you, we need to create the win-win situation where basically the technology guys and then these startup guys, basically, they will, are the fulcrum as far as the creating that kind of enabling ecosystem for the CSOs particularly, because consumers are now asking about traceability of all those different products, certified products, the biosecurity, quality, safety, all those attributes brought by the COVID-19 particularly, though it was there initially as well, but COVID-19 has created that kind of a consciousness among the consumers. So consumers basically are now asking for all those traceability and all those things, where basically we feel that if we create that kind of a win-win situation for all the stakeholders, for our extension system, a visa, our target clientele group in the form of civil society organization, I think then only we can, create that kind of a smart and competitive and sustainable environment for our farming community. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Dr. Sagar, thank you very much for very good presentation, and it looks very exhaustive field database kind of information you provided. Just I wanted to know, is there any kind of a study or some experience you have about interstate variation into success of formation, success of these FPOs? Because what I believe, without having any data, this is my belief, in my area for our state, UP and this Uttarakhand and some these states, FPO formation and their sustainability is not that good in comparison to in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and some other states. So I may be wrong. So can you throw some light on that interstate variations into FPO formation and their sustainability and means the success rate?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your observation is very much correct, basically, because yeah, most of us are aware, but still, I would like to say that the SFSC, NABARD, these are the two agencies who have promoted supported the FPC movement. And then what they did, basically, they have empaneled many NGOs, particularly, and many such ICAR, KVK, those institutions are also there, So it depends now what kind of a process these promoting institutions have adopted, right? So, and then when we talked about collectivization, so we are asking human beings, we are asking those farmers to come together. So the need has to be common. So how far, and that's what basically the in participatory methodology we argued, how far basically these promoting institutions have made them people realize that their role in this developmental process, plus how far basically they are inculcating all those skill set through which basically those people can run that FPC. Moving further, how basically, these promoting agencies, they are looking at farmer as whether it is beneficiary, whether it is stakeholder, or whether it is they are looking at only achieving the target which given by their supporting organization, NABARD and SFSC. Plus, state government have also promoted, through their land department. So I see, just to conclude, we are going towards the target-driven approach, right? We are not going by the process driven, because in the developmental sector, the promotion
okay. Dr. Sagar got quite at length. You have answered this one. I am getting that. Then rather than the target orientation, they should have a process, focus on process orientation. But what happens, initially, because they have been given target to set up some FPOs, they are forming. The moment they withdraw, hand holding, so they defunct. They become these FPOs become defunct. So this is what is happening in many places because of the target people are doing, and somehow they are able to organize some group FPOs and maybe registration and all these things. The moment they withdraw, they leave from the scene. FPOs are nowhere to see there. This is what I have seen most of the time it is happening. So then somebody is asking a very relevant question here. He is saying that share some key innovation. They don't need elaboration, They need you tell the innovations. What are the innovative practices which will lead to success of the FPOs? So please suggest innovations. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
Sir, as far as innovation is concerned, before coming to the that innovation, and that is where basically problems is actually, because it's a people, and it's so one thing is process driven. Second thing is they should understand this model itself, because what has happened basically because of that target driven, sir. These FPs, these promoting institutions, they have not make them realize how basically the governance is, because this FPC model stands on the principle of and philosophy of cooperative plus the private. So in private, we know they have a different department, they have different managers. So all those things are required. That is the number one actually, because you may have n number of value addition business activity, but if you are not able to manage it through your governance practices, then the very purpose will be defeated. And that is where basically, because of that, basically, once they withdraw the support by promoting institutions, they are not able to run that, because they don't know as a role, as a member, what is my role, as a board of director, what is my role. So that is number one. We need to give more focus first, then comes to your business activity. So when it comes to the business activity, many people think out of box. Out of box is fine, but first look at your plate, look at your resource endowment, what kind of you are blessed with. So you develop, and that is where basically in this new 10,000 FPOs, government is giving more focus on product or the commodity specific. So where you have a commodity specific value chain, if you are developing through your FPC, then you are basically, it becomes success. So that is the, I think, second innovative way to go for it. And then third, the management. Why cooperative fail? It's because of lack of professionalism. It's because of lack of management skills. And so, and similarly, this third thing which need to be roped in this FPC, that is management. So they need to have the professionals on board through which basically they can do effective management of their business activity. And then fourth, which highlighted by all those FPCs, that's what the findings from my study, that is the digital marketing. So how far basically these professionals are, creating that kind of a marketing through online platform, that's the key actually for running successful FPC. So these are the 4 points I think I can say.
Okay, Dr. Sagar, let us take one more question. There is a question like this. There is no guidelines for NABARD for FPOs in livestock enterprise. I think, do you have some idea on this?
Generic. It's guidelines is generic. It's all about how you are developing that kind of a business potential in a given location where you want to promote any FPC, right? So generic guideline is there.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think most of the questions have been addressed. It was nice presentation, practical oriented, lot of information about this one. So it will help many others to get some idea that how to make FPOs successful experience. Thank you very much, Sagar. Let us take another.
Thank you very much, sir.